Let's talk today about what it actually looks like to review your week. One of the things that is so powerful in starting to set your priorities for the week and starting to lay out your plan for the week is the actual review process. Why? Because if we don't review and we don't understand why things are getting done or are not getting done, there's no way that we can improve. All right, the first thing that is the most important about doing a weekly review is to set a time. Maybe that means the exact same time of day, the exact same day of the week, but more specifically, how much time you're going to spend on that. Why? Because we tend to get really freaked out if we think it's going to take too long. But if you say, I have 30 minutes, I'm going to review my week and hopefully set the priorities for the next week, then you know that that time is not going to spread out to the whole day and make you feel overwhelmed that you're not getting other things done, and relax that 30 minutes is all it will take to finish this exercise. Okay, so let's say we have our 30 minutes. May take a little bit of time the first time, but once you get used to it, it becomes a really quick exercise and should not take more than 30 minutes to review your week from the week before and plan out your week ahead. So the first thing after you have your 30 minutes is to really assess what went well this week. What is that? The wins, the little things. I find that sometimes jotting them down as I go throughout the week is helpful, either in my phone or on a piece of paper or something, because about an hour after you have a great win, you forget about it. And it's lovely. I review personally on Friday afternoons. If I can then look through and say, oh my goodness, all of these wonderful things happened this week. How lucky am I? Rather than going, did anything good happen or did I just not get things done on my to-do list? But it really helps to start this exercise off thinking about the positive things that happened from the week and the things that you really were excited about, even if they were just in the minute. Not a big deal. Small wins. I, for example, have a rescue dog who has a lot of issues. The other one's just nuts on another level. And sometimes reminding myself that things went well this week really make me feel positive, especially when things are not going well. So having those wins to review can go a long way in reminding yourself that even if you're not making what feels like progress on a goal, you're actually having wins within that and things that will keep you motivated to keep going. All right, so after the wins, you want to look at the tasks that you had assigned yourself for the week and start to go through however you have these tasks. I am somebody, you can find out more about this on MsSierraBailey.com, but I like to have my 3A tasks, 4B, and 5C tasks kind of as the priority of the week. But the way I look at it is those three top ones are the ones that are going to move me forward and not necessarily have any urgency whatsoever. So they're the things that I'll easily push off. Sometimes I do push those off, but they're the things that when I have time, I want to be able to focus on. So we're reviewing. How'd they go? Did you get them done? If not, why not? Did something come up that took your time away from it? Did you not write down the tasks in the form of like an action sentence starting with a verb? Did you make things too vague? Were they accomplished and then you realized that you didn't even need to be doing the next step, so you maybe deleted a few on the list and they're no longer there? Things like this, going over those tasks. What was done, what was not done? And then really just spending a few minutes thinking, did I even need to do this? Maybe this is going to come off because I no longer need to, or did something come up? Did urgent things with clients end up taking over my time and pushing that out of the way? But really having that look over what was done, what was not. Now, if you are planning for your week at the end of this, then you can move some of those to the next week. Very fine to do. We all do this. Don't feel bad about it. If you find yourself never accomplishing things on the list, you'll really want to have a reassessment. But as long as you're getting things done, it may be fine to just keep rolling things over because, especially if they're C tasks, they may not be the priority when you are strapped for time, as we all are as tiny business owners. All right, the next is, how did the week go in general? You want to be thinking about this of, did you get stuck ruminating over some interaction that you had with a client? Or did you find that there were just too many networking events and the ROI, the return on investment of doing that many events in a week that took away from doing work is not worth it? Or did you have no networking events? Were you not going to meetings? Were you not getting things done and therefore not getting business? Were you maybe having family in town or vacationing. So you were having a great time, just not focusing on these tasks, things like that. It's really about assessing your week in whole, not just your work. All of your planning should be together in one. I'm not somebody that thinks you should have one schedule and planner for work and one schedule and planner for, let's say, your house. You will end up just having too many things to do. So have all of these on one big master list so that you are focusing on your life as a whole and not just on work or your personal life, let's say. And when you're assessing, be thinking of your life as a whole. Is there an area that you feel like you haven't been paying enough attention to? Are you having to think of things that you want to do more of and take time away from things to do less of? I went through this with my whole quest to read more. I had to back off of the TV watching to put more of the reading time in. So it's a good time to look at, wow, I'm spending so much time scrolling on my phone on Instagram. I seem to be not getting anything else done. That is a good time to look at this. But also, are you spending a ridiculous amount of time just checking your email throughout the day and realizing like, wow, if I just put that to an hour at the end of the day, I could probably accomplish more. Things like this. What do I want more of? What do I want less of? And then start to think about your habits. Start to think about the things that you're doing in life. That's more of like, I use the example of wanting to read more, so I had to back off of the TV in order to read more. That was really the resetting of a habit. It's what do you want to start doing and stop doing? I always think of it as like, what are your habits? What are your practices? What are the things that you have in play that are really working for you or that you used to do and stopped doing? I had a push-up challenge last year that I realized I loved. And halfway through this year, I said, why not start it again a little bit differently? So I started it in the middle of the year, and I really love having that daily practice in my life. There are things that sometimes you have stopped and you want to start again. There are some things that you're doing saying, I don't know if this is really doing anything for me. I can probably stop it. Things like that. This time each week gives you a chance to really reflect on everything that's going on in your life. It's like a check-in with yourself to say, you know, am I getting to these someday maybe tasks that I have dreamt of all the time and keep saying later, 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 and now it's been 7 years? Well, when you have this check-in, you can have those lists of other things you want to be doing. You can have, I love to have lists like that someday maybe, where if I'm packed with all sorts of projects that I'm working on right now, I maybe have an idea of something I really want to do, but I just can't do it right now. So I put it on a list. I know that it's still in my brain. It's still in the future, just not at the moment. So I review that list to say, is now the time for this to come in? That can be maybe monthly. You don't have to do it weekly, but starting to work in this weekly review, checking on how things are going is a great way to start to understand the areas where you may be slipping, of losing those great habits you've established, or of just spending too much time on things you don't care about and not focusing on the things you really want to be doing. Anything from spending more time with a loved one to maybe exercising, walking a dog, to reading, to having just downtime where you don't have to do anything. It's up to you on what you want to be doing and getting done, and it's up to you in what you're looking at as you review your week. But I do encourage that you think about starting this and taking 30 minutes each week to really assess where you are and where you want to be. I'm Ciara Bailey, and I have been talking to you with this week's business tip. Hey, business is not just about our work, but also involves our personal lives, because if our personal lives are not going well, we're not going to work well either. I will be back next Tuesday with another tip. Thank you.